our adventures rolled around again, and you rolled an airplane from Canada all the way over here.
We did, and this time we thought we'd leave it naked so that people can see what's inside the aircraft rather than have it all covered up. And it highlights our wood construction and the geodetic technique that are in all of our Fisher aircraft.
Now, Paul, this is an airplane that you've built, but when you look at it in kit form, how does it come to a customer?
Well, it comes in two different ways. We have the basic standard airframe kit, and that's with all the lineal materials have been machined and grooved. All the plywood components are going to come pre-shaped and machined. The metal hardware will come shaped and drilled where it can be. Some places it can't be because you drill it during rigging. But essentially, you get all the components that are needed to finish the aircraft except your engine, your instrument panel, your upholstery, and your paint. The covering material, the fuel tanks, everything else is included with the kit. We also have a quick build option, which does part of the assembly for you, where the spars, the ribs, the fuselage sides, and the tail group are all pre-assembled for you.
And when you say a fuselage side, exactly what is that?
It's basically from the front of the airplane all the way to the back. The sides are done, and what we're doing is we're putting together anything that's repetitive or anything that requires jigging. So if you buy a quick build kit, it's more of an assembly process than it is a construction process.
And what type of hours would, say, a person be looking at first if we were to buy a kit, and second is you would buy it as a...
Okay. In the Skeeter here, about 500 hours to flying is what you're going to invest in your time on this aircraft, and the quick build kit will knock 200 hours off that.
Now, this airplane, when did it first come out onto the market?
It would have come out in the mid to late 80s, so it's been around for a while, and there are quite a few flying right now.
You go out onto YouTube or something, you see pictures, all kinds of different shapes and colors and schemes on it.
Yep, that's correct. And speaking of that, what we're looking at covering this aircraft with now is a new material that's coming in from Germany. It's called Oratex, and the advantage of this material is it comes pre-colored, and so when you're finishing it, you don't have any of the chemicals or the time needed to finish the aircraft. You can go from an uncovered aircraft to a finished aircraft in about a week.
So, like when you look at that, the original covering material would have to be shrunk. This also has to be shrunk? This also has to be shrunk.
Traditional covering material, you're putting a Dacron fabric on, you're applying it, you're heat shrinking it, you have 2 coats of weave fill, then you have 2 or 3 coats of color on it, and you're dealing with some fairly dangerous chemicals.
You've also got the UV barrier in there, the silver nitrate.
Correct. With this, all that is done at the factory, and you're literally just ironing it on to the structure and then shrinking it. So it makes it much quicker and much healthier to do.
Now, if you were to order that, though, would you know exactly how much fabric a person is going to need for this particular aircraft?
Yes, each of our kits, we know exactly how much material you're going to need. In this instance, you're going to need about 34 yards of material to cover the airplane.
And you could order it in one color, and then you could put decals or on to give you the...
Correct, and that's what they recommend, is that you cover the aircraft in a base color, complete, and then do your accents with either decal or ironing more different colored materials over top. The one limiting factor with this is there are only 8 colors available currently, but I'm sure as time goes on there'll be more colors available.
So, getting back to this airplane, what type of dollars and cents would we be looking at by the time somebody had this up and flying?
The basic kit on this is $6,500, and if you want the quick build kit, it's $9,550. By the time you're ready to go and flying with the engine covered with basic instrumentation, you're in around $12,000. So it's a very reasonable way to get in the air. Also, with the Hearth F-33 engine in the front of it, this aircraft qualifies as an ultralight, so you can fly it as an ultralight in the U.S. Or if you want to make choose one of the larger engines, you can fly it with a sport pilot license or a regular pilot license.
And what kind of performance would you be getting out of this airplane, say, with the little Hearth engine? And the Hearth also has the electric start. Comes with
correct. Top speed on the aircraft, you're going to be cruising around 60 miles an hour, 55, 60 miles an hour. The stall on this aircraft is very low. It's 22 miles an hour. So you have a fairly broad range of safety in the 2 speeds, but it's just an airplane for taking off and flying around the field and having a good time, and it's certainly not a cross-country aircraft by any means.
And what type of delivery time would somebody be looking at, say, if they were interested in something like this?
Right now, for a full airframe kit, you're looking at about 8 weeks. For the quick build kit, it's 10 weeks.
So if somebody wanted to get a little more information, get a hold of you, what's the easiest way to do that?
They can go to our website, which is fisherflying.com, or they can give us a call at 905-838-1050.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.